Duke Ellington, with the demands of being on the road, keeping a band of 17 or 18, 20 musicians together, what keeps you going at the age of 70?
Well, I don't think the age has very much to do with it, because, you get to the chronological aspect of it, it's more relative. I mean, it's like you say, well, you find some women are very ripe at 50, and some are kind of finished at 19, you know? So, I mean, it isn't a very stable or a good scale of appraisal. I mean, it's a matter of who generates or who regenerates. If you don't regenerate, nothing. If you're 10 years old and you don't regenerate, you're dead. What do you retire to? If you tell me what to retire to, I'll consider it.
I understand from something you just said before we started recording that you have discontinued the use of the word jazz. Is that right?
Well, what we do is our thing, our music. It's we write. There for years, about 30 years, there were two writers, arrangers, composers who wrote for about 7 or 8 soloists, and it was just that music for those people. And of course, there's nobody else like that. I mean, there's never been another organization like that where you've had the advantage of the same people over so long a period. It's just, I mean, I think Louis Armstrong plays Louis. I think Coleman Hawkins played Coleman Hawkins. And I know that nobody played Django but Django. And nobody played Tatum but Tatum, and nobody played, who else was it, the inimitables? Who are the 3 inimitables? Tatum, Django, and Bechet. Nobody ever played Bechet but Bechet.
Every so often, a jazz or popular magazine will feature an article on the question of will the big bands ever come back? And in fact, that was the title of one of your albums not so long ago. Mm-hmm. What do you see in this way? Do you see any kind of chance, not to a return to ballroom dancing every night, but any kind of a resurgence at all?
Well, it's a matter of business, and it's a little out of my sphere. It's purely a matter of whether anybody wants to take these financial risks. It's a very expensive thing. You can get your brains knocked out in a monetary way, you know. With it, I mean, you take, for instance, the airfare from New York here without paying salaries, or from New York to San Francisco or whatever. And it's just prohibitive, and nobody wants to take the gambles unless you're kind of hooked on it like I am, and I'm hooked on music. And that's it. And that's tougher to kick than heroin.
You've won just about every award there is to win. You've been entertained royally at the White House. Is there anything in the world that you have not done that you wish you could do?
Oh, yes. I have about 10 plays that I would like to put on, a couple of ballets and an opera. That's, you know, all I need is a deadline. I could do them next week, you know.
You've said that one of the most important statements you've been able to make musically as well as spiritually has been in your sacred concerts, of which there have been, I believe, 2 so far. Do you have anything more planned in this line?
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking now about a 3rd one. And just when we will do it, I don't know.
Do you have any other specific plans for the band? You've added an organist, Wild Bill Davis. Anything else coming up in the future?
Well, it depends upon what I enjoy. You know, I'm a very selfish sort of person, and when I add anything, I always add it first for my own joy. And of course, if we're fortunate enough to find an audience which has similar taste and can appreciate the same thing, why, naturally, then of course the 4 points have met, and then, you know, it's total agréable, or whatever it is.
Duke Ellington, thank you very much for being with us on AFN, and do you have a message for the servicemen in Europe?
Tell them we love them madly, and I'm proud of them, and that we hope to see them soon, and hurry home.
Thank you very much. This is Specialist Bill Swisher reporting from the Jahrhunderthalle in Frankfurt-Hoechst for Weekend World.